He worked in a cafeteria in America, washed dishes, and dug wells back home in Nigeria. That man is Adedeji Adeleke, a billionaire most people have never heard of. While the world knows Davido, few know the father who built an empire long before the fame. He didn't make his wealth from luck or oil. He built it from hard work, vision, and patience. Most billionaires in Nigeria focused only on oil, but Adeleke built 9 strong businesses in energy, farming, real estate, banking, education, aviation, logistics, manufacturing, and drilling. Together, they make over $1 billion every year. Still, he stayed out of the spotlight. He let his work speak for him. Born in 1957, the son of a senator, he could have lived off family money. But he chose to start small, earn his own way, and learn how to build. That choice changed everything. It turned him from a student worker into one of Nigeria's most powerful men. Today, his companies give light, food, and jobs to millions. And in 2025, his new $2 billion power plant, the largest in Nigeria, is almost complete. It's the final piece of a plan he built step by step, year by year. Stay till the end. You'll see the simple secret behind how Adedeji Adeleke became filthy rich, and why his story is about more than money. Everyone in Nigeria knows Davido. The whole world knows Davido. But not many people ask, who raised him? Who helped him build the freedom to chase music without worry? It was his father, Dr. Adedeji Adeleke, a man who never wanted fame, only results. While Davido filled stadiums, his father powered cities. While Davido made music, his father created businesses that changed lives. He didn't chase the spotlight. He built systems that worked when others failed. That's what made him truly powerful. And here's the thing. In Nigeria, where things break often, function is worth more than fame. By 2025, his company, Pacific Holdings, controls assets worth over $1.5 billion. His group runs in 9 major sectors, from energy and real estate to agriculture and logistics. But if you search his name on Google, you'll mostly find Davido, not Adedeji. That's not by mistake. That's his plan. He prefers to stay quiet, letting his work speak for him. But here's something most people don't know. Adedeji was not born poor. He was born into comfort, the son of a senator. Still, he worked like a man with nothing to lose. Why would someone with everything act like he had nothing? Because for Adedeji, privilege wasn't the end. It was the test. And that test started far away, not in Nigeria, but in Kentucky, inside a university cafeteria. There, he washed dirty dishes for a few dollars an hour. But what did those dishes teach him about money, discipline, and success? That's where the real story begins. In 1976, a young Adedeji Adeleke stepped off a plane in the United States. He had been accepted into Western Kentucky University to study finance. Back home, his father was a senator, and his mother was known for her kindness. He could have lived an easy life, but he didn't. Instead of using family money, he chose to work for everything. He joined a 20-hour work-study program on campus. He scrubbed floors, washed dishes, and served food as a busboy in the cafeteria. During summer breaks, he worked at the university dairy factory, handling milk machines and cleaning tanks. It wasn't about survival, it was about building character. Every day taught him discipline, humility, and respect for hard work. By 1979, he earned his bachelor's degree in finance. By 1981, he completed his MBA. Later, he earned 2 PhDs, one in international business and another in business administration. That's 4 degrees, earned through sweat, not privilege. The cafeteria gave him lessons no classroom could teach. It showed him the dignity in labor and the value of patience. When he returned to Nigeria, he didn't look for shortcuts. He looked for opportunity. While others chased oil money, he searched for something simpler and more powerful. He searched for water, because hidden beneath the earth, he saw gold that people couldn't see. But how could drilling wells turn into a billion-dollar empire? In 1983, Adedeji Adeleke returned home to Nigeria. He was fresh out of graduate school, full of ideas and energy. But the country he came back to was full of problems. Cities and villages were both thirsty. Clean water was hard to find. People dug shallow wells that dried up fast. The government made promises, but few were kept. Instead of complaining, Adeleke took action. He started Pacific Drilling Company Limited. His goal was simple: bring clean water to the people. No fancy offices, no big advertisements, just hard work, one well at a time. His first major contract came from the Osun state government. That single deal brought clean water to thousands of families and steady income to his young company. While others chased oil, Adeleke chased necessity. In the 1980s, almost 70% of rural Nigeria lacked clean drinking water. So his wells became more than a business. They became lifelines, and they were profitable too. Consistent government contracts, private projects, and a growing reputation made Pacific drilling a success. This was the foundation of the empire to come. Here lies his first big secret. He didn't follow trends. He solved problems everyone else ignored. Because in a broken system, necessity is wealth. But as he drilled deeper into the earth, he realized something bigger. Infrastructure wasn't just important, it was power, and whoever built it would soon control it. What came next would prove it. By the 1990s, Nigeria's population was growing fast, but the national power grid was falling apart. Blackouts hit every city. Businesses ran on diesel generators just to survive. Homes stayed in darkness for days. Most people saw a crisis. Adedeji Adeleke saw an opportunity. In 2001, while others waited, he launched Pacific Energy. The goal was clear: create independent power, not depend on the failing grid. He worked with Chinese engineering firms to learn faster and build better. He studied energy models from around the world. He stayed patient, waiting for the right time to move. That time came in 2006, when the Nigerian government started privatizing the power sector. And that's when Adeleke struck. He acquired two major power plants: Olorunsogo, 336 megawatts, and Omotosho, 304 megawatts. Together, they produced over 640 megawatts of electricity, enough to power hundreds of thousands of homes. Today, Pacific Energy is worth around $1.4 billion. It stands as one of Nigeria's top private power companies. Here's his second big secret. He entered before the boom. He invested when everyone else was afraid. Critics laughed and said, "You're using your own money?" That's crazy, but that risk became his fortress. And while he powered cities, he noticed another kind of darkness: empty plates. Nigeria's next big crisis wasn't electricity, it was food. If he could drill for water and build power plants, could he also feed the nation? And how do you turn farms into fortunes? By the late 1990s, Nigeria was importing more than 60% of its food. Rice came from Thailand, wheat from the US, and maize from South America. This was strange, because Nigeria had some of the richest farmland in Africa. Adedeji Adeleke saw the irony, but he also saw the opportunity. He launched Pacific Farm Limited and bought large areas of fertile land in Osun State. He planted rice, maize, and cassava, but he didn't stop there. He built processing plants to turn raw crops into ready-to-sell products. It wasn't just a farm, it was a full food system. Then, a nationwide food shortage hit. Prices went up fast. Imports stopped. Hunger spread across cities and villages. The government started supporting local farmers, and Adeleke moved quickly. He expanded operations and partnered with grocery stores and international buyers. Soon, Pacific Farm was making over $200 million every year. Here lies his third secret. He didn't react to the crisis. He prepared for it years before it happened. People said he was just lucky, but Adeleke called it preparation meeting opportunity. Still, one big problem remained. Nigeria's roads were broken. Trucks took days to move goods that should take hours. If his products couldn't move, his empire couldn't grow. So Adeleke did what he always did when faced with a gap. He filled it himself. But how do you move a nation when the infrastructure itself is broken? By the early 2000s, Nigeria's roads were falling apart. Transport companies were slow, unreliable, and too expensive. Adeleke's farms were producing food. His power plants were running strong. But getting products to the people was the real problem. The delivery system had become the bottleneck. So, he created his own solution. He launched Pacific Freightliners Limited. He invested in a full fleet of trucks and cargo vehicles. He didn't wait for the government to fix the roads. He built a system that moved on them anyway. When others complained, Adeleke adapted. Then came 2004, a time when fuel scarcity hit hard. Transportation costs shot up. Supply chains broke down. But Pacific Freightliners kept rolling. It moved essential goods across the country when others couldn't. Even government agencies and private companies hired his trucks to keep Nigeria moving. Today, Pacific Freightliners handles imports, exports, and nationwide cargo. It earns more than $150 million every year. It's now one of Nigeria's top logistics firms. Here lies secret number 4. Adeleke didn't just produce goods or generate power, he controlled the path those goods took to reach the people, from farm to market, from plant to grid. He built the chain from start to finish. But as his logistics empire grew, one challenge still remained: money flow. He needed more than profits. He needed financial control, so he decided to build that too. But how does a billionaire become his own bank? By the mid-2000s, Pacific Holdings had become a giant. It owned farms, factories, power plants, and trucks. But Adedeji Adeleke saw a new challenge. To keep growing, he needed more than revenue. He needed control of the money flow. So he entered Nigeria's banking sector, not as a borrower, but as a builder. He created Pacific Bank PLC to manage finances for his expanding businesses. The bank supported his companies, offered loans, and handled transactions that kept the empire moving. But soon, Nigeria's banking laws changed. The central bank ordered every bank to merge or increase their capital strength. So Pacific Bank joined the national consolidation wave and became part of a stronger system. Still, Adeleke's role in finance didn't stop there. In 2016, he was appointed as a director at Unity Bank PLC, formed from the merger of 9 private banks. There, he helped improve planning, cut financial risks, and expand services for corporate clients, small and medium enterprises, and retail banking. His financial assets now bring in over $200 million every year. Here lies secret number 5. Adeleke didn't just build companies, he built the financial system that funds them, because cash without structure fades. But wealth with its own banking backbone becomes a kingdom. And like every kingdom, his empire needed speed, reach, and mobility. That's when he turned his eyes to the sky. But why would a billionaire need his own private jets? By the 2000s, Adedeji Adeleke's empire had spread across continents. He held meetings in Abuja, signed deals in Atlanta, and formed partnerships in London and Beijing. But commercial flights were too slow, too public, and too limited for his growing schedule. So he made another smart move. He stepped into private aviation, not for luxury, but for leverage. In 2020, he bought a Bombardier Global Express 6000, a 19-seater jet worth over $62 million. It could fly long distances non-stop. Perfect for a man running businesses on 2 continents. He also owned a Bombardier Global Express 605. But here's the twist. He didn't just use them, he leased them. In Nigeria, the rich and powerful often need private jets for business and security. Adeleke turned that need into profit. His aviation assets are now valued at over $100 million, earning more than $30 million a year. That's not vanity. That's velocity. Here lies secret number 6. Adeleke turns every asset into an income stream. Critics see jets and think ego, but he sees time as the real currency. Every hour saved in the sky gives him more hours to build on the ground. Still, he knew something even greater. All the wells, farms, trucks, banks, and jets mean nothing without the next generation. So he made his most important investment, not in steel, but in souls. But what does education have to do with becoming filthy rich? By 2010, Adedeji Adeleke was already worth over $1 billion. He could have retired. He could have kept everything for himself, but instead, he decided to give back. In 2011, through his Springtime Development Foundation, SDF, he built Adeleke University in Osun State, not for prestige, not for tax benefits, but because he believed that education is the most powerful tool for ending poverty. Since 1996, SDF has given out thousands of scholarships, built hospitals, and supported medical programs across Nigeria. It has helped hundreds of people become self-employed and independent. Today, Adeleke University teaches thousands of students in many fields, producing graduates who now shape businesses across Nigeria and abroad. In 2013, Adeleke donated 1 billion naira to the Cherubim and Seraphim Church, a gift made in honor of his late mother. Here lies secret number 7. Build legacy, not just wealth. Because wells can dry, turbines can break, companies can fall. But education, faith, and purpose, those last forever. And as his schools grew and hospitals opened, one final question remained. What was the real secret behind it all? Was it privilege, luck, or something deeper? Something the world never saw coming? By 2025, the world knows. Davido, the superstar, the hitmaker, the global icon. But now, people are beginning to see the man behind the name. not through fame, but through foundation. Adedeji Adeleke never chased headlines. He chased impact. He didn't build companies to be celebrated. He built them to be useful. Today, his empire touches every part of Nigerian life. Power plants light up cities. Farms feed families. Logistics companies keep goods moving. And his university shapes the next generation. In 2025, his firm Pacific Energy is finishing a $2 billion, 1,250 megawatt thermal power plant in Ondo State. It will be the largest private power facility in the country. Once complete, it will bring electricity to millions. And yet, Adeleke stays silent. He lets his work speak louder than his name. Here lies secret number 8. Silence is strategy. His success didn't come from one big move. It came from thousands of small ones, built on vision, timing, and purpose. He invested when others waited. He gave when others kept. He built when others doubted. And now, as turbines spin and students rise, the truth is clear. Adedeji Adeleke didn't get filthy rich by accident. He got rich by design. But what he built, that's more than wealth. That's legacy. The secret behind Adedeji Adeleke's wealth was never hidden. He didn't chase money, he chased necessity. Every well, every turbine, every scholarship was built with purpose. While others sought fame, he built function. He turned needs into empires, silence into strategy, and privilege into purpose. The world celebrated Davido. But Nigeria runs on Adedeji, the man who proved that true wealth is building what outlives your name. This is the story of Adedeji Adeleke, born with privilege, driven by purpose. A billionaire who stayed invisible while his work became unstoppable. A father who raised a superstar, yet built a nation. Start where others stop. Build what the world needs. Subscribe for more stories, like if inspired, and comment your biggest takeaway.